our live status on YouTube. Everything is there. Let's see here. Status on YouTube. Everything. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Give it. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right, Sam, you ready?
Whenever you're ready.
All right, let's do this. Here we go.
The strange, the bizarre, the funny, and the sad. In a world of algorithmic nightmares, these are the stories you find when you scroll too long. All the facts, all the absurdity, none of the fluff. This is Doomscrollin with your hosts, Sam Tripoli and Midnight Mike.
Oh, we're live. We're in it.
We're
here on a Magic Tuesday, our new time, basically around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that y'all could get home and enjoy a nice educational hour and a half. The most educational hour on the internet. Doomscrollin. I'm Sam Tripoli. He is Magic Midnight Mike, one of the most versatile content creators out there. Midnight, where can they find you?
Oh, geez. You guys can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. And if you want some awesome tea, go to thenakedgardener.us. And
Get in it.
Get some
that
tea.
naked tea, gardener tea. Get that naked gardener tea. Guys, this is Doomscrolling. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the wheel on stage.
We got some fire videos for you today. And then, of course, if a couple aren't shown, we'll bang them out at the end. We got some really good ones for you.
We're packed. Here we go.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's all happening. Here we go.
Speaking of the ancient ruins in the Amazon, I really want to talk about the Olmecs. So the Olmecs, they were the civilization that were thousands of years before the Mayans. But even like the Mayans and the Aztecs talked about them as ancient people.
As their ancestors.
God, they like discovered these giant stone heads. They don't look like South American people. Their features resemble a lot of like Africa and Asia.
Interesting.
And yeah, they think that they are the first in Mesoamerica to have a written language.
Wow.
Which would predate what we know thousands of years.
Yeah.
They did floating gardens.
Oh, cool.
So like on their lakes and stuff, they would literally have farms that were floating.
Bro, so
Like
neat.
really advanced stuff.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds awesome. Do you think they ever had a time back then where they can communicate with other people across?
I think so. The Olmecs, I think it was 700 or 600 BC, they just disappeared.
Wow.
Gone. And this was before any conquistadors, anything. So like even the Aztecs and the Mayans, they had legends about them, but they're like, we have no idea
What happened
how
to
they
them?
what happened to them. It was just empty cities.
Wow.
Yeah.
this is real.
I mean, dude, it is crazy getting into the whole thing that, our timelines are completely crazy. Like I said this before, we had Dr. Narco Longo on, and he said that Islam started in Mexico, and everyone called me crazy. And then we saw a video a couple weeks ago where Muslims are all in Mexico. Islam. I mean, it's all there, dude.
The modern day mainstream timeline about what has happened in Central and North America is completely wackadoo. And you can go even not even talking about Egypt and Egyptology. I just went to like 45 minutes to the east of me, and there's a mound in Ohio. Not the serpent. Like everyone knows about the serpent mound, but I went to the circle mound in the octagon, and there's all these mounds around Ohio. And just coincidentally, in the UK, there is almost an identical circle mound, but that was built in 2000 BC. And they're claiming that these mounds were built only 1,000 years ago here in Ohio. Bull crap, bull pucky. They're lying to us. There is a civilization, a culture that is not recognized here in the Americas.
I agree. Just so everybody knows, we see you in Rumble, and when we got a comment that we like, it will be featured. We love all. We love all the Piss Army, all the Swarm. Everybody is loved on the Doom. Spin the wheel.
Yep, we're going to do it. Here we go.
We're not afraid.
You guys, I think I found it. This is the big one. This guy said, look into the Parliament building in Romania that was built in the 80s, and you're not gonna believe the fucking story on this one. So this is the biggest building in the world, the heaviest building. It weighs over 9 billion pounds. Oh, wow. 4.5 million tons. And it went up in the 80s. And there's not a single construction photo of it. This is all I could find. Look, they are digging it out. And look, it's dirty. It's messy. It needs to be cleaned off. It's supposed to be brand new. And then this is the other one with some stuff up next to it, but it's finished. Guys, the story's so stupid. It said that this dictator really wanted a palace, and so he had a competition, and this 28-year-old chick, when she was 28, won it. He was in charge of 700 architects and like 10,000, 30,000, the number doesn't matter, laborers. It said a lot of it was forced labor and that the army helped. These aren't even skilled craftsmen. Guys, what in the fuck? There's not a photo of the construction. I dare anyone, please go look. I looked and looked and I couldn't find a single photo of the construction of this magnificent place they say was built in the 80s. Do you see what I'm talking about? They just print shit. They just lie in front of you, and they have guns and you don't. And that's all of our history books. We're like, they couldn't pull the wool over our eyes. We knew what was going on into the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. You don't know shit. You didn't know about the biggest building in the world and that there's not a single construction photo for it other than the one of them digging it out. I think this is the smoking gun of smoking guns, unless someone can prove me wrong and say, no, they absolutely built this palace for Parliament under a sociopathic dictator. Had this chick built? What are we talking? How is she not celebrated? How is this not the most talked about person on earth? You all know about Mr. Eiffel. This chick rivals him. What a ridiculous, ridiculous narrative.
I agree.
Buying this, Jack.
I agree. I concur. I concur. And some just said the Freemasons made it. Freemasons? Masons. There's a lot of people think they took their name from the fact that they claim Mason work that they didn't even do. So
I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but the hypothesis there, that building was already there. They just excavated it. You know, they vacuumed it out. They took a leaf blower and blew off all the dust, and then boom, there's a palace, right? Like it was already there.
That's what this video is saying.
And they reappropriated it. Like they said, hey, we built this. We're appropriating it for our purposes now, but this is an ancient structure that was just appropriated. And you think the Masons are appropriating this to rewrite history?
Yeah, that's the theory. That's why they're called Freemasons.
So coincidentally, not to bring back it to the mounds, but
bring it back to the mounds.
The mounds, one of the mounds I went to on Sunday, they built a golf course within these mounds built by these ancient people. It's like, hey, you know what? This is a great place for a golf course. And I have to look into it, but it may link back to, Scottish golf, Scottish Freemasonry appropriating these mounds for a new purpose.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's all wacky. It's all bizarre stuff, but yeah. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see how much more wacky and dopey we can get. Come on, let's do it.
Skinwalkers aren't real. That's why I brought my friends to the Navajo Nation to use them as bait to prove they don't exist. We decided to split up into groups of 2 to try to taunt the Skinwalkers further. Being the birthplace of the Skinwalker, we're doing literally everything you are not supposed to do at night. I've been warned by so many locals about doing what we're doing here, so if skinwalkers are real, tonight is the night they're gonna show up.
Nick came up here, which we're on a ledge right now. We heard something super weird on the other side of this rock. We're gonna go take a look. I don't know what it was.
Whatever is out here, we're immediately getting the feeling of being watched from all directions, which is absolutely bizarre.
We heard a really bizarre noise, and what we heard, honestly, is probably somewhere down in here. So we have the logical idea to split up. Nick is gonna go down there, make himself bait. I'm gonna go back up on these rock cliff faces here, and we're gonna split up and see if whatever we heard out here shows itself.
I wasn't ready for what we were about to encounter. If you take a quick listen, you can hear something whistling to the left of the camera, whistling back to me. Even though Nick and I split up, I know that he's to the right of the camera, so I don't know why I'm hearing whistling from the left.
Whoa!
Hello?
Whoa!
Did you hear that? That wasn't you whistling? Now I'm unsure if this is my friend or something taunting me.
They're messing with some stuff out there.
Yeah, dog.
I like that their premise is like they're doing everything wrong to antagonize the skinwalkers, and if they don't show up, then they're not real. They're doing it for like one night, and you might be freaking out the environment. Like I think they could do the exact same thing in a bad neighborhood and be left alone. You're just some crazy white boys in a bad neighborhood. They might leave you alone, but if you keep persisting, bad news might catch up to you.
Yes, and especially when you have cameras and lights all over the place.
Yeah. But that I think if you go into it, I think it depends on your frame of mind when you go into that situation. You may or may not encounter anything, and it's George Knapp, who wrote the book Hunt for Skinwalker with Colm Kelleher of the National Institute for Discovery Sciences. He went to Skinwalker Ranch like multiple times and said that he never had any sort of paranormal event happen to him, but everyone that he knew at the ranch did have something happen to them. It appears to be an individual, personalized experience, and not everyone is going to get the same treatment.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you're dancing with danger right there.
Yeah.
You're dancing with danger, and maybe you catch them on a day where they're like, yeah, we don't want to murk these guys, so we're going to let them go. But, man, that is danger.
I'm gonna walk through the south side of Chicago, start calling people names, banging on cans, knocking on doors. They will they might leave you alone the first time, but the third night, you're gonna get
asking for danger, dude. You are asking for danger. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my friend Ryan, he's all about that. He owns land out there, and he wants me to go out there, and Johnny wants to go out there, and I'm like, I don't think so. We're good.
Really?
We're good.
So Ryan Burns, he's got that
Ryan
property. He's a nice guy. I subscribe to his Patreon. He's got great stories. Yeah, that is one of those things where the offer's there. Do you indulge? Do you open yourself up to that kind of potential supernatural attack? It's a bit dicey because there is that hitchhiker effect where if something does interact with you, it can attach to you, and you can bring that home. It will it doesn't stay at the ranch. It doesn't stay
there. You got Skinwalkers in Ohio.
Yeah, you don't need that. I don't know if that's a good book title.
Skinwalkers of Ohio.
Oh, it's not that good of a book title. We'll have to rename it. But
it is crazy, dude. That's a crazy dude. Those guys, these Generation Z kids, they don't care. If I die, I die. At least I get views. That's their whole theory. I can get views as long as I get views.
I think if your heart is pure with God and you believe in Jesus Christ, you'll be okay, Sam. So I think
the power of Christ compels you.
I think
the power of Christ compels you.
That's what Tony Merkel of the Confessionals deals with when he goes out there, deals with dogmen. He goes out there, deals with Bigfoot. I asked him about that. Do you do anything to protect yourself when you go out there? He's like, no, I'm a Christian. I'll be fine. I said, all right.
You're
Armor
dancing,
of God.
Dude. You're dancing. The most educational show on the internet.
Phoenix, Arizona was founded by multiple Freemasons and soon after became home to other fraternal organizations. What's interesting about that is Phoenix sits on the 33rd parallel, which this red line represents. In previous videos, I've discussed all the anomalous events surrounding the Four Corners area, which is why I found this hotspot interesting on a ley line map. And the symbolism behind naming this city Phoenix is because the mythological phoenix represents rising from the ashes. And this land was once home to the Hohokam people, which is an ancient civilization said to have been around 300 BCE to 1400 CE. Their largest hub was called Snake Town, and now sits the Valley of the Sun, because the sun's east to west travel runs parallel to Phoenix's grid-like design. Back to the 33rd parallel, the Great Pyramids of Giza sit on the 33rd parallel, as well as Baghdad, Iraq, which is interesting because there's a Baghdad, Arizona, a mining town near the 33rd parallel. Not far from Phoenix are the Blythe geoglyphs, which sit on the 33rd parallel. Roswell crash site is on the 33rd parallel. How about the symbolism behind the first atom bomb? Because during the term of Harry Truman, the 33rd president, Trinity Testing Grounds was on the 33rd parallel, 210 miles south of Los Alamos, New Mexico. If that isn't crazy enough, both Nagasaki and Hiroshima were detonated on the 33rd parallel.
Oh my God!
Back to Phoenix. I'm sure most aren't aware of Hunt's tomb. Governor George P.W. Hunt entombed his wife in 1931, and then he was put in there in 1934. I'm gonna do a part 2 and go more in depth into the Masonic symbolism within Phoenix.
I love it.
It's crazy. The wheel has a theme. So someone just said we pick these videos based on what we want you to learn. No, we pick the most interesting videos that we see during the week. And what happens is we only pick videos that can either be first or last. They can be at any point. We nothing but bangers. I can't help what Instagram and TikTok shows me. We just put it out there and the wheel decides.
The wheel is determining the order here. This is, I don't know, you want to call it random or divine intervention or just, I don't know. However it's programmed, there's no magic in there other than it's just picking things out. But Phoenix is a remarkable place. I lived there for a few years.
I love Phoenix.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite cities. It's got that clash of cultures that just makes it really interesting, like cowboy, old west, Native American,
hot
Southwest.
Tens, hot tens, dating fives, like extremely hot women.
Yes,
dating,
everywhere.
You know, wherever there is money, sun, and illicit activities, okay, you'll find hot chicks.
And just it is ripe with paranormal activity. I had a potential succubus or incubus encounter there. My wife had paranormal experiences there, and that's not even talking about just 90 miles north in Sedona. It truly is like a paranormal state.
A lot of vortex.
Yes, paranormal state. We left, but we do miss it. We'd probably move back there if they had a little bit more water. We'd move back there.
We have a guy from Phoenix telling us he always dates out of his leagues. There's so much, and there's something about the heat that cooks these chicks, and they just like to get weird.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a scientific research.
And if you just hop over to Scottsdale, you'll see a Porsche, and you can just lean up against it, take your picture with the Porsche or Ferrari. Cheers for that night. There you go.
Yeah, you'll get picked up in an Uber limousine. That's how nice it is out there.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, spin.
All right, guys, breaking news. Taco Bell just revealed all of their new menu items, and they're actually insane. I know this sounds like some sort of Fortnite update, but I'm not kidding. They literally just hosted this huge event announcing all of the menu items that are coming. And I'm sorry, I had no idea this existed. This is so funny. It's literally like an Apple panel, but they're just announcing new menu items. So let's go through every item that they announced. All right, so first, Taco Bell announced that they're making their own version of Starbucks called Live Mas Cafe. They're going to be selling a bunch of different coffees and signature your drinks. You can now go to Taco Bell to eat food, but also to go drink a coffee. They announced their Decades menu, which just means they're going to be bringing back old products that were on the menus in the early 2000s and 2010s. This includes the Cool Ranch Dorito Loco Taco and the Double Decker Taco.
Nice.
They also announced a new Toasted Cheddar Street Chalupa, which is basically a chalupa, but the outer shell is going to be baked with cheese. Next, they announced that they're making chicken strips, which is kind of crazy. I never thought I'd see Taco Bell releasing chicken strips, but they're also going to be adding these chicken strips into burritos and into tacos. Next, they are bringing a flamin' hot burrito, which is absolutely insane. For my hot Cheeto girls, you guys should be very excited for this because you guys are getting a Taco Bell burrito stuffed with flamin' hot Cheetos. Next, they announced the Queso Crisp Taco, and this one's insane. So it's basically a shell fully made out of cheese, but they obviously turn it into a taco. So for my keto fans, you're gonna like this menu item because technically it's keto. Next, they announced the steak and queso Crunchwrap sliders. Obviously, the original Crunchwrap is huge, but they're actually making it into 2 mini Crunchwrap sliders, and honestly, it sounds pretty fire. They also announced a new Mountain Dew flavor called Baja Midnight, which is basically a passion fruit Baja Blast, and honestly, as Americans, we should be celebrating the iconic passion fruit flavor mixed with the iconic Baja Blast flavor.
Yep.
It's just diabetes in a
celebrate.
cup. I am so excited. They also announced that they're releasing a Baja Blast pie. Now, this is insane. If you go to Taco Bell and order this, you should go to jail. Like, I'm calling the authorities on you if you order a Baja Blast pie. This literally sounds like a Fortnite update video, but for Taco Bell menu items. This is amazing. Let me know in the comments below which item you're most excited for.
Is none of the above on there?
This is. I do like that they are leaning into the tech gaming culture. They're presenting each one, and their market probably is people who are playing Skyrim for 12 hours, Fortnite for 12 hours, and they got to get DoorDash, so they might as well get Taco Bell from the DoorDash. So yeah, it's a wise move on Taco Bell's part.
I'm a simple chicken soft taco guy from Taco Bell. I'll take it, but everything else seems like you're dancing with the. I wonder if the Freemasons made these Taco Bell ideas.
I wonder, yeah. At some point, there probably is a group of Freemasons that have a large financial interest in the success of Taco Bell.
Do you guys remember when Taco Bell's whole marketing campaign was that they were part of the conspiracy community? Do you remember that? They're using the all-seeing eye.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were dancing with it a little bit.
Yeah, they were like, okay, this is a hot topic right now. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and did that work out for him? I don't know if it did. I don't know if it did, but
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Cute little dog you've got there. But hold on. In a previous life, he could have been George Washington. Nice cat.
Snap.
Perhaps Annie Oakley. And look at him. Why, it's Napoleon. Reincarnation. What human being was your pet in a previous lifetime? Master reincarnationist E. David Scott will tell you when you call this number. Just answer simple questions with your touch-tone phone. $1.95 per minute for entertainment only. Under 18, get permission. Call now. Learn who your pet was as a human in a previous lifetime.
What kind of dog is that?
Dude, let's go with that. Put that with Pizza Magic and we're rocking. Does Taco Bell owe us money for advertising them? You will be hearing from our lawyers.
I would take a paid sponsorship from Taco Bell. It's been a while since I've had some Taco Bell, and it's been a while since I've been completely inebriated to where I would want to go to Taco Bell. But I would take a sponsorship from Taco Bell. I think. I don't know.
Taco Bell, move quick before our lawyers do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'd consider it. That'd be a huge sponsor, Sam.
If we went just right huge and we were just like Apple, Taco Bell, just right out the gate, they're like, this show is powerful.
We should just wear all Taco Bell swag.
Yeah, we should be like NASCAR, just wearing our advertisers.
Yeah, just pimp it out. Just lean into it.
Yeah, look how many videos are there.
We're gonna do it. Here we go.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run! He's got a gun!" And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help." And Mum distracting him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, "I'll find you and I'll shoot you." All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there. We were past our when you driveway. Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
Well, So I was just gonna say someone will give them the points. The twins from The Shining made it. They got out.
They got some additional work.
Yeah, they got some work. Congratulations to them. Damn.
Someone
that
posted
was hilarious.
That was like a real news story from Australia, and that's like proof that the telepathy tapes are real. Like these twins are like locked in. They think one way. They
dress alike, and they got, what do you put them at? Late 40s, 50s? And they're still talking the exact same way in stereo.
Yeah, it's incredible how in sync they are.
That was crazy.
Little disturbing.
Someone just said 2 4s make an 8.
Little disturbing, but very amusing.
More than a little disturbing, very disturbing.
This cat beats his neighbor every day, and no one knows why. Not for food, not for love, not even for territory. Just shows up at the window and smacks the guy, then leaves. It all started when this furry little menace randomly appeared at the window next door. The owner thought, "Aw, a stray cat," and kindly offered him some food. Big mistake, because from that moment on, the cat returned every single day, but not for a snack. Nope. He doesn't want to come inside. Doesn't want to be petted. He just shows up, slaps the guy through the glass, and leaves. Like it's a job. Clock in, slap, clock out. This cat has a new daily ritual. Wake up, stretch, beat the neighbor, go about his day. Because for reasons we may never understand, this cat just enjoys beating him.
Fucking asshole. Yeah, dude. You just tried to be nice. You got twins trying to a mom trying to help somebody with a crash, and then you got a cat
getting beat up by a cat every morning. That wakes you up, though.
Don't feed the strays. That's what we've learned. Don't feed the strays.
The cat's just trying to dominate his territory. That's it. You should recognize that cat's in charge around.
Doesn't even want to come in. Just wants to beat you and leave.
It's like knock, knock, boom. Wake up.
That is hilarious, dude. The doom scrolling wheel is on fire today.
It is.
The wheel of doom.
It's magical today. It's magical.
My God, we are blessed. We are seeing greatness. This is the doom scrolling's Jordan Flugan.
Who's there?
It's me, the human in your closet. Looks like the tables have turned yet again.
Mom!
Why you calling your mother? I'm not gonna hurt you.
What are you doing in my closet? You're scaring me.
Well, I'm a little scared too.
What are you afraid of?
Well, I'm afraid of what you'll think.
I think you should come out.
Well, will you accept me? The real me?
Wait. Do you mean?
Yeah.
Of course it's okay.
After all those years, this is it. This is me.
You're beautiful. Just the way you are.
So we fucking or what? I'm mad horny. My name's Ricky, by the way. Have you met my cousin under the bed?
Wow.
Bro, great content. Great content. Great content. Thank you, Wheel of Doom.
Wow.
Great content.
Took it to a whole another level I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. They're gonna get in on you. They
Yeah.
just want to make you feel good. And get weird.
I can't afford rent, gas, or food. We're in a global trade war. What are we going to do? Bro, didn't you hear? We're good now. Our problems are solved. Are you even listening to me? I can't afford to feed my kids. So unless a couple of has-been celebrities went into space, I don't want to hear it. Bro, Katy Perry went into space.
Don't give me hope. Are you messing with me?
No, they did it. They went into space for 10 minutes.
Did they come back thinking that they're better than everyone?
Yeah. Katy Perry said that you don't know the love inside of you until you've been in space.
Was it crowdfunded or funded by an evil billionaire?
Jeff Bezos. That's worse than Elon. It really isn't.
Did they take away attention from actual female astronauts and undermine the intense process of actually becoming one?
They all called themselves astronauts and they tripped an enormous victory for feminism. We're gonna be okay. They saved us.
The wheel is fire.
Oh boy. It wins. It wins every time.
One of my thoughts on the moon landing. Well, here's an interesting one about the moon landing. I've said this in other lives before. There's a picture of Stanley Kubrick when he's doing 2001, and he's in England. They called the studios NASA East, which is hilarious. And he's doing his shoot there, and there's a picture of him walking with a group of guys, and they have them all identified, except for one guy behind them. He's in a row behind them walking. And that guy that they didn't identify, that has never been identified, is Louis Jolyon West of MK Ultra. And West was a specialist in mind controlling people, creating cults. There's a large portion of his information that's never made it out into the public that he was working a lot with UFO people and witches and Satanists and all that to create those subcultures. Jolyon West was running one of the free clinics in one of the counterculture areas of San Francisco. Jolyon West was running it at the time clandestinely, and Manson was there getting treatment with the Manson family. And so Jolyon West was involved with that. Jolyon West was involved with Jack Ruby. Jolyon West was involved with Sirhan Sirhan. Jolyon West was involved with Whitley Strieber, the UFO guy.
Whoa.
Jolyon West was involved with the Stanford Research remote viewing experiments. Jolyon West was involved with a lot of things, guys. If that's where the moon landing was shot, he was involved with creating the belief system around it.
Holy moly.
Oh, that's a great video. That's one of the best videos we've ever done. That video is up for Video of the Year.
That those connections are quite incredible.
Dude, when you put Jolly West there, if you can put him there, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Apparently he's just a mover and shaker of all important events, at least when he was alive.
That's crazy, dude.
Insane.
That's crazy. Wow.
Absolutely insane.
Trying to find that video. Okay. Man, that's crazy. That was a crazy one.
All right.
Yep.
We're gonna see if we can take it up a notch here. What will the wheel give us?
The wheel's been fire. Back-to-back jacks.
What do you got, Wheel? Come on, Wheel.
Talk about the Gucci goddess. She was a financial manager for the U.S. Army. So without telling her employer, she incorporates a fake children's charity and awards herself an Army contract. The Army contract was for positive youth development for military-dependent children to engage in intentional learning experiences. Approved. U.S. Army approves this children's charity that has that as their mission and description. A totally fake nonprofit. Does absolutely nothing for children. 7-year period. She steals $108 million from you and I, the taxpayer. All of it goes into her pocket. Not a dime of that money goes to the kids. It's all going into her bank accounts. She spends the money. 31 different homes in Colorado, Maryland, New Mexico, Texas, and Washington. She bought 80 motor vehicles, and the packages were arriving every day from high-end retailers. The UPS guy is the one who gave her the nickname, the Gucci Goddess, because they were constantly delivering these high-end items to this McMansion that she bought. The Army eventually learns of this fraud. She pleads guilty to tax evasion and mail fraud charges. Matt Cox, what do you give the Gucci Goddess?
15 years.
Damn, you're good.
How much?
15 years.
Wow.
Wow. Huge. That's amazing. That is amazing. I mean, dude, the level of corruption.
And that's the one they caught. They caught that one.
Yep.
You know, she probably got a little
There's
sloppy.
probably tons of them.
They probably
Tons of
would, if she would have given the kids maybe 10%, 20%, then she would have been able, you know, we lost some money along the way, but the kids got a chunk of it. They probably would have been okay. We're not going to even worry about this. But she got a little too greedy.
People are saying $100 million for 15 years. But guys, you know they seized all that, right? They took it all back. It's not like they allowed her to hold on to it till she got done with the 15 years. They take it all back. And then you know what they do? They just give it to other corrupt politicians.
Yeah. They spread that around.
Right? I mean, it's just crazy.
How many San Antonio women could fit inside the Alamodome for the national championship game? There are 64,000 total regular seats, 52 suites, and about 6,000 club-level seats in all. Max capacity for normal-sized humans would be roughly 72,000 fans. But to answer such a complex question, we must first determine only which would allow for an additional 25, bringing our total to 159 total San Antonio women.
That's some weird math, but I believe if the wheel says it's real.
It's checking out. He didn't cross, multiply, and divide, but it looks good.
It seems real to me. It seems real to me.
It's starting to check out.
Somebody's looking for big San Antonio women in the chat. Someone's like, where are these 175-pound women? Dude, they're out there.
They're goers.
They're not hard to find, and they won't run away because they're tired.
This is day one of watching Joe Rogan. He's, interesting, just talks about stuff and has some good jokes. This is day two of watching Joe Rogan, and I started taking more vitamins and supplements, and I feel pretty good.
Really?
Including AG1. This is day 3 of watching Joe Rogan, and I am now an orange belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I do judo, and I eat elk for breakfast.
Right.
This is day 4 of watching Joe Rogan, and according to Graham Hancock, the ancient pyramids of Egypt are actually power plants that generated energy and electricity, which is what inspired Nikola Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower through conducting electricity through piezoelectricity. And according to Jimmy Corsetti, Plato's description of Atlantis perfectly fits and describes the Eye of the Sahara Richat structure. This is day 5 of watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and the big pharmaceutical industry is lying to you. They are a multi-trillion-dollar business that are not health providers, but publicly traded corporations that prioritize not your health, but shareholder profit. They don't want you to know about ice baths. They don't want you to know about the carnivore diet. They don't want you to know about AG1. They don't want you to know about hyperbaric chambers. If you're not snorting AG1 every single day, you are a victim of the pharmaceutical industry. You should be snorting AG1 every single day, taking DMT for breakfast, and eating elk meat that you hunted 3 times a day. Take your ice baths, wake up at 5 a.m., train hard in jiu-jitsu, and...
That's crazy. Sounds legit to me. Sounds legit to me. And by the way, your drops are fire.
Hey, it's just like, the
we
wheel,
are blessed.
It's just right there.
We are blessed. We are DMT for breakfast.
Was she so? Obviously, she's not watching Joe Rogan. But it's it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if that's parody or is she doing some sort of she's trying to be funny, but it's not. It's not that funny. But I don't know. It's poignant. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't know how you feel about that video, which opened that young lady's eyes? She's on her way to be a San Antonio woman. Now she's shredded.
You're right.
She's choking people out.
She's choking people out. She's eating elk and she's taking ice baths. So it's a win, I suppose. You're right. It's a win.
I'm in, dude. I am.
So this guy called me a faker, and I'm feeling like a villain today, so this is what I'm gonna do. So I tried looking Mark up, couldn't really find anything, but through extensive research, I found his mom on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
I initially was just gonna send a screenshot of your comment and pretend to be your friend, but turns out your mom's a little lonely, Mark. You haven't spoken to her in a while. And after some going back and forth, she offered to fly me out to Austin, Texas, so I could take care of her loneliness problem. So guess where I'm going? So you see, Mark, I'm not a faker. In fact, your mom's about to feel how real I am.
Dude, I say this all the time. I say this all the time.
We can pause it right there.
I'm going to say something, okay? I'm just going to say this. We always say this is the best show we've ever done. We're only halfway through.
Yeah.
And this is by far the most fire Wheel of Doom we've ever had. Ever. Whatever you put in today, whatever program you did, has picked nothing but fire today. Thank you. Thank you, Wheel of Doom.
It's fantastic. And this guy is rocking it. Look at this. Look at this. Super talented. I guess, I don't know his backstory, but look at that. That's fantastic.
Oh, I hope we get an update on how hard he went to Pound Town.
That's a great song.
It was a really
Love
good
you
song.
too, DJ Olamusman. Love you. Just having a day.
Yeah.
I needed this. Thank you, guys.
Here we go. Let's do it. Whoop it up.
I've been to some crazy places before, but this has to be up there as one of the craziest. This is a cemetery. These are all mausoleums dedicated to cartel bosses in Culiacan, Sinaloa. These aren't houses. These are mausoleums, tombs, like the tombs of Egypt for the pharaohs, except these hold the narco kingpins.
Whoa.
And each one built larger to one-up their competitors. It truly is unbelievable. The amount of money that the cartel makes. They have so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. To the point where they build $1 million mansions to be buried in. Monuments to some of the most evil people that have ever walked the earth. Here in Sinaloa, Mexico.
Look at that.
All propped up by a government
They all look like condos in Miami.
that's as corrupt as they are.
Wow.
Very livable. Safe neighborhood.
Look at that, bro. Condos in Miami. You could live for. You could be dead forever.
That's crazy. I've never heard of such a thing. You know, it's bizarre. What a little tidbit. What a little fun fact right there. That these dead guys are living better than you.
Yeah, dude. Think about that. Nobody can afford rent anymore.
No.
But you can go live in a mausoleum to some dead drug dealer.
Yeah, I'm out back waiting for my chickens to drop an egg in my hand, and these guys are living like kings, and they're dead.
Yeah, this guy's chasing chicken butt around.
Yeah.
And he got dead people just killing in a 3-bedroom.
I have to do it.
He has to do it, dude.
Spin
He
it.
has to do it, too. Dude, these videos.
Can I just say that The Shining has never been more scary to me than it has been as I'm making this video for you right now. Listen, if I'm being honest, one of the most unsettling scenes in this film is this one right here. The one with the guy in the bear suit performing you know what on this guy right here, and Wendy sees him and them doing this thing and she's freaking out. Well, there's a lot more to this than what we may think. Some people think it's just a random BJ act. No, probably not. There's a lot more symbolism to this, I think. Go back to this part of the film where the psychiatrist is meeting with Danny. Danny is laying on a bear pillow. And on this shot, you can see the bear behind Danny in the face. However, the eyes are not in full. Because up here is the picture of the actual bear pillow made in the 70s where the eyes are fully round. But right here, the eyes are cut somewhat in half. And that's because it mimics the little dials above the bloody elevator. Again, loads of symbolism. And the red mouth signifies the blood with the elevator. Then remember the scene where the new bosses approach Jack in the lobby of the hotel. Jack is reading a magazine. Now this is where another interpretation of this bear scene comes in. Jack was actually reading a Playgirl magazine. But notice the title of one of the articles. Incest, Why Parents Sleep with Their Children. So another interpretation is saying that Jack S.A'd Danny. And honestly, of all the years that I've loved this movie, and this has been on my top 10 of all time, I've never really sat down and thought about this until after doing some research today. And this last little tidbit up here, and this little tidbit right here in the marketing poster for the film, the face within the lettering looks both like a child and like a teddy bear, and it has the same terror eyes as the pillow prop and elevator floor dials. This couldn't get any more chilling, could it? What is your interpretation of this scene in The Shining? And is The Shining on your top horror films of all time? Let me know your thoughts of this scene and this movie in the comments, because I found this to be pretty chilling. Follow for all things horror.
That's insane.
That is insane, and all she talks about is horror. Horror all the time. What kind of world do you live in?
And that's the second Shining reference of this episode, really.
Wow.
We had the twins at the beginning. Now we have that one, which that deep symbolism within the Shining. I mean, I know people have gone super deep into that. There's a whole documentary around it, and but that's one I did not even know about. That's crazy.
That's so creepy. Kubrick was so insanely smart, and he's just like putting all this dark stuff in there, and like Eyes Wide Shut got him most likely killed.
Probably.
So crazy. So crazy.
It shows that you can watch the movie 100 times, and each time, if you read into it, it changes the context of the movie. True artist and moon landing guy, probably, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Charlie West. Look at that. Bang, bang, pow. 2 Stanley Kubrick references.
If you'll indulge me, I'd like to read 2 pages from advice from the Extraterrestrials. Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that we've been It is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people. It is also true that in the past some of your people have lost their lives or have been badly hurt to protect the secret. Our hands had no part in this. We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. So we made time agreements with your leaders as to when your people would be made aware of our presence. Your air, your water are contaminated.
Yep.
Your forests, jungles, trees, and plant life are dying. There are several breaks in your food chain.
This stuff sucks.
Yeah, well, they're keeping stuff from us.
I wonder what they... Go on.
What's the timeline?
Yeah, when did this come out? I wonder what the aliens think of the new Taco Bell menu.
Oh, they're probably
I wonder if they had anything to do with that. We're going to make a whole taco out of cheese. That sounds like alien technology.
Something you want to show up for. I wonder what the timeline is. You know, some CIA insiders or former CIA guys say 2027 is the year, but I believe that comes from the Bledsoe family. And who knows? 2027, a big year? We're 2 years away. We'll find out. Year and a half away, really.
Yeah, to Dan Mack is that his name. He says this is from 2000. Dan MC, which sounds like a white rapper. So, you know, take this with a little Krav Maga stance here. 2016.
Okay. All right. So that came out 2016. We're 10 years on. Okay.
Dude, you remember when I talked about Taco Bell and all the conspiracy stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of all fits together. Wheel of Doom trying to tell us something.
I'm gonna look up Taco Bell conspiracy right now while the next wheel spins. Here we go. We're gonna spin the next wheel. Taco Bell conspiracy.
You know, Ashton Kutcher was supposed to go on a date with the girl the night she died. What? Yeah. Why? The story's mod. He was supposed to take this girl in September, I think 2001, on a Grammys day. Grammys after party day, right? 8 o'clock, calls her, hey, I'm gonna pick you up later. She goes, okay. When he gets to her apartment, knocks on the door, nobody's there, she's not coming outside, and just wondering like, yo, where's she at? What he does, he goes to the window, looks inside, and he sees a big red stain on the carpet. And in his head, he said, you know what? I'm getting ghosted right now. Like, this is not anything. No. I'm gonna just leave, cut my losses. Like, I'm out of here. And he goes to the Grammys party, done. Little did he know, or maybe he did, the next morning, the roommate of the girl finds her dead in the apartment in a pool of blood.
Bro.
She obviously goes to the police, and one of the people she calls is who? Ashton Kutcher. Because he's the one that's dating her at the time. Cool? So what does he do? You know what he does? What? Calls the police immediately and says, I was dating this girl and I've been around her a lot, so my DNA is probably all over the apartment.
Oh!
Yo, this is fishy, no?
3D chess, though.
What happens is he testifies and it goes to court. They find out that the next door neighbor of the girl that was murdered was actually
Oh. Right.
I think
that might get you banned from the Wheel of Doom. I like those guys. Those guys are crushing it.
But doing that, I think he was going to say a serial killer. I think that's what he was going to finish the sentence with, was serial killer.
Well, there's a lot of darkness involved with Ashton Kutcher, too. Yeah. Like his connections to, he started a Save the Children Foundation. He's knee deep in a lot of stuff associated with the guy from that 70s shows who's in jail right now for SA. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, dude.
Ashton. Demi Moore. Oh my God.
Demi Moore. Oh yeah.
Boy.
Oh
very
yeah.
Involved.
Her making
very
out
involved.
that kid. Yep. Very weird.
Involved.
Very. Yep.
The internet is going crazy over a theory that Jack Dorsey is Satoshi Nakamoto, and if I'm being honest, this theory is insanely convincing. In the 1990s, Jack Dorsey was one of the 1,300 confirmed people part of the cypherpunk movement. He wrote a manifesto in 2001 about making a mark without leaving a trace. In 2003, Jack posts a bio mentioning crypto, pseudonyms, 4 a.m. hacks, and ending dependence on the US dollar. The original Bitcoin source code documents are all timestamped at exactly 4 a.m. From September 2007 to January 9th, Jack's Twitter profile states he is a sailor. August 17th, 2008, Jack tweets a sailor's quote, and Bitcoin.org is registered the next day. Bitcoin source code later includes a sailor's adage: never go to sea with 2 chronometers, take 1 or 3. January 10th, 2009, Satoshi accidentally logs into IRC with a real IP address, revealing he was in California, where Jack was at the time. January 11th, 2009, the first Bitcoin transaction occurs on Jack's mom's birthday. November 19th, 2009, Satoshi joins the Bitcoin forum on Jack's birthday. May 3rd, 2010, Satoshi's last mined block happens on Jack's dad's birthday. December 5th, 2010, Satoshi tells the forum not to donate Bitcoin to WikiLeaks. December 14th, 2010, Twitter is hit with a secret court order forcing it to turn over information about WikiLeaks. Summer 2013, Jack's friend Alyssa Milano writes a novel called The Hacktivist about a character living a double life under a famous pseudonym. September 8th, 2014, Satoshi's email is hacked, and the hacker tries to extort him by revealing a connection to St. Louis, Jack's hometown. April 20th, 2020, Lex Friedman asks Jack if he is Satoshi Nakamoto. Jack responds, I wouldn't admit it if I was. February 2022, Jack starts wearing a Satoshi shirt, first on a Michael Saylor podcast, then at the Super Bowl. October October 27th, 2023, Jack states at a conference, Bitcoin and Satoshi in 2009 was a combination of my childhood, my curiosity, and everything I aspired to be. July 21st, 2024, Jack writes on Nostr, a social platform, I frequently imagine Satoshi sitting back somewhere and laughing at it all. August 28th, 2024, Jack goes on Nostr and thanks Hal Finney for his help. Hal Finney was known to have contributed to the creation of Bitcoin. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, the guy's got 77 on his hat, which is, if you ask John Lee, Chelback is a shady ass number. Super interesting, dude.
So, like, I think on the previous episode of Doomscrollin, it was linked back to some people associated with the National Security Agency. It probably was most likely like a group of highly intelligent Czech people that started this. They created this fake guy to kind of take all the heat, and they just sit back and they have their one world government currency that tracks and everything. So,
Yep.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
You got Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin. I don't have that much, but
Got a little bit.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
It is very interesting. And he's definitely got intelligence ties.
Yeah.
You know, based on all the WikiLeaks dump or the Twitter dumps.
And now he's just a barefoot hippie, right? That's that's his job now.
I would like to know how many Bitcoins he has.
Oh, probably at least 2 or 3. Probably.
All right, spin the wheel. Let's go.
Have any of you actually discovered who this guy is yet? And I'm not talking about Jay-Z. I'm talking about this guy right here. A lot of celebrities have his art. And some celebrities idolize him so much they spend millions of dollars on his artwork and his hairstyles too. This is Jean-Michel Basquiat, the boyfriend of Madonna before the world even knew her name. And it kind of made me wonder why certain celebrities idolize him so much. For example, like his three-pointed crown, which was Chris Rock's first tattoo at the age of 55, in which LeBron James jumped in on that too. Ooh. Same for P. Diddy and Dave Bautista. And it made me wonder why Hollywood finds Basquiat's artwork more unique than anyone else's. For one, articles state that he was a medium, a magician. His mission was nothing less than the restoration of powerful spiritual function to art, a channeling of the eternal through the ephemeral. Articles state that Basquiat was a scion of Haiti. He knows the lowest, the Haitian gods, and he knows what they sound like on a jazz record. He can hear Urzili when she's speaking through the clarinet, and he understands the relationship between possession on the dance floor that the gods are in the music. And I find it extremely coincidental that P. Diddy has a massive back tattoo of Urzili or Azili Dantor on his back. They're pretty spot on, I'd say. And how ironic is it that Madonna depicts Alizé as well, right down to the heart. Many celebrities own his art, especially Ellen. And believe me, she has many. This video is long enough, but stay tuned for part 2 of Hollywood celebrities who idolize.
Wow.
Yeah, and we all know what a lot of people think that, and I can't believe she didn't talk about how he was on the volleyball in Tom Hanks' movie about being shipwrecked or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Castaway.
Castaway, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that guy's all over the place.
Yep, it's very creepy. Very creepy. Very creepy.
That's wrong. I've sometimes wondered if what we sense as a god or a spirit is really just an old AI from the Atlantean age. I do think there are spiritual entities, so to say that, well, Yahweh was just a supercomputer from the last round of civilization kind of goes right hand in hand with what they would love us to believe, that there was never anything spiritual. It was just tech from an old age. But the association between Yahweh and the original God and the black cube, I mean, what is the black cube? It's a goddamn server. It's D-Wave. It's just a computer. So I think there's something really interesting there.
Higher Side Chats, the OG of what we all do. And it's interesting, dude. Fits into assimilation. Are we computer programmed? Am I a computer program? Is this?
I think we're real. I think we're real. So what he's touching on there, it kind of falls. I don't know who he's talking to there, but kind of falls in line with what Jason from RKX talks about with the fact that there's an ancient AI and it tends to wipe everything out on a phoenix cycle, which is right around like I think 140 years, and with that clean slate that comes around, kind of like when you wipe a hard drive. If you don't do a good enough job, you can still get files out of that hard drive. And so when our hard drive, this Earth, gets wiped, you can still find remnants of the previous session, like old buildings, old technology, things like that. And we're coming up on the end of that next Phoenix cycle here. I would say, in the 2030s, 2040s. The previous one was at the end of the 1800s, early 1900s, when all those World's Fairs were going on, talking about a new age to live in. They were trying to curate the past, and so maybe it is the overall AI just kind of cleaning the slate, and then we get wiped out. But there's remnants of what we built here that a future civilization will discover and try to repurpose.
There's a lot of some people. Mark is spicy today. Woo! in the chat. Very spicy. A lot of people are spicy. I hear a lot of people saying that no rich people say it's simulation. That is not true. Elon Musk talks about it all the time. That's a simulation. So
yeah.
Not to be nasty and not to be mean, but
I think Elon put it at a fairly good chance, maybe 33% chance, 1/3 chance. There are some other notable professors that think it's like we're close to maybe 50%. And if the super rich did believe that we are in a simulation, I don't know if they would acknowledge it. They probably want to keep that knowledge and that belief pretty close to the chest, and they would act on that belief and not allow other people to understand that belief system as well. They would probably keep that on the DL.
Well, simulation, whatever you believe it is, God bless, because you're witnessing the greatest episode of Doomscrolling ever.
Yep.
He's the most cunning man in the world. 3 divorces, $100 million in profit. Yes, we're talking about Kevin Federline. His 3 ex-wives all paid a hefty price for being with him. Number 1, Britney Spears. They married in 2004 and divorced in 2007. Due to Britney's massive income, Kevin received a $13 million divorce settlement. He also secured $40,000 per month in child support, a payment that continues to this day. Number 2, Victoria Prince. This marriage lasted from 2013 to 2022. After the divorce, Victoria paid a $5 million settlement and relinquished control over their joint business brand, allowing Kevin to take full ownership of its profits. Number 3, Sarah Marshall. They married in 2022 and divorced in 2024. Sarah attempted to reclaim some assets in the divorce, but the court ruled that Kevin would retain 80% of their investment portfolio. She could only cash out 20%, amounting to approximately $2 million to $3 million. Additionally, Kevin was granted residency rights in their Los Angeles mansion until he remarries. Are you surprised by his tactics? If given the chance, would you date Kevin?
Yes. This guy's the #1 gigolo punk in America.
Yes, he's a hero. Too many. He's just getting back what men have been paying out forever. Okay, he's just a gigolo, and everywhere he goes, people know.
Dude, he is #1 gigolo. Who is more
#1 gigolo?
Who beats him? Really, at this point, I'd love to hear some other names, but this guy is.
Yeah, dude. God bless you, Kevin Federline. God bless you. You figured it out, bro. He's got to have a magic route, dude. Just magic route.
In 1996, a con man bought the New York Islanders with fake documents and a fax machine. This is the story of one of the craziest scams in sports history. It all starts with this guy, John Spano Jr. He ran a company called Bison Group in Dallas, Texas. They leased and financed equipment, nothing major, but he was the type of guy to make it seem like they were managing hundreds of millions of dollars. In reality, he was worth less than $5 million. But John always dreamed of being a billionaire, and his way to become one was own a sports team. So in 1995, he positioned himself as a local wealthy businessman and approached the Dallas Stars ownership group as a new potential buyer. The Stars did some basic due diligence and found out that he really didn't have as much money as he was claiming, and then they just dismissed him. So then John tries again, but this time he chooses a brand new franchise, the Florida Panthers, and he actually almost bought the Panthers. But after the owners asked for more thorough financials, the deal fell through. Which brings us to 1996 and the New York Islanders. The owner at the time, John Pickett, was desperate to move the team. He bought the team during a dynasty where they won 4 Stanley Cups in a row during the early 80s. Since then, the team was on a steep decline, losing millions a year. In the early 90s, Pickett tried to sell the team, but every time it fell through. Then out of nowhere, here comes the mysterious business tycoon, John Spano, here to save the franchise. And this time Spano came prepared with fake financial documents, phony businesses, and forged letters of credit to look legit. He said all the right things, he looked the part, and Pickett was so desperate to sell the team, he did for $165 million. And with no one really looking too deep into it, even the NHL approved him. The wild part is, he was given full control of the team without even making a payment. For 4 months, Spano acted as a legit owner, sat in on GM meetings, signed players, traded players, and even took interviews as the owner. However, the lies did catch up to him. Spano misses his first payment and he blames it on the bank. Then he misses a second payment and now everyone starts digging into his life. Turns out he didn't have any money at all. All of his bank statements were fake and even his financial advisors were just his friends pretending. Once the truth broke, the whole deal was void. Spano was later arrested and sentenced 71 months in federal prison. Now, something like this would never happen today, but it is pretty wild that Spano owned an NHL team for 4 months with no money.
That is crazy.
That is pretty incredible. Like, how long did he expect this scam to really carry on? Because he had no money. Like, he just...
Yep.
So he knew he was going to be toast at some point in time, but at least on his business card, he could put owner of an NHL team for at least a few months.
Or at least if I would love to do that. Put me in charge of something. Watch me make the money. Bang, bang, pow. Yeah, put me in charge of something.
I would love to put you in. If I was in charge of something, I'd put you in charge of it.
Thank you, dude. You get it. I'm powerful.
Yeah.
I'm powerful.
So I just learned that there are enigmas, anomalies with this cloth they found that's thousands of years old that scientists cannot explain today, but they are actively trying to disprove it. So what you're looking at here is called the Shroud of Turin. It's believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus. And there's some very unexplainable things about this cloth. So using some 3D imaging, they were able to lift this print, basically. It's a face, it's a body, and there's a lot more detail. For one, the image is only on the uppermost surface of the fibrils, meaning just the very tip ends of the fibers that make up the cloth, which is strange because they couldn't have been used of chemicals then, because if they use chemicals, it penetrates beneath it, and you could tell that it was chemically made to look like. The second enigma is that chemicals cannot explain how a perfect three-dimensional image became evenly distributed on the cloth, especially on parts that did not come into contact with the corpse. Thus, something other than chemicals must have been the cause of the image on the shroud. Vapors could not have done it. As they scientifically discover, there's no way a vapor caused this image. And the fact that there's an image on both the front and back of the cloth implies that the cloth collapsed into and through the body. Some believe that an intense burst of vacuum ultraviolet radiation produced a discoloration on the uppermost surface of the shroud's fibrils, which gave rise to a perfect three-dimensional negative image of both the frontal and dorsal parts of the body wrapped in. Now today, while billions celebrate him rising again, there's something so devious, satanic, and nefarious going on that I can't even mention on this video. If you want the secret info of something I can't talk about what's happening during Easter, comment secret below.
Wow.
I believe, Shane's Vibes Truth. He does great work, and that video is insane. And Eddie Bravo recently went on the Joe Rogan Experience and talked about it, and it's just crazy. Jesus is king.
I know, like a lot of people were like, I know that was a product. The Shroud of Turin was a product of Leonardo da Vinci and his this artistic genius. But yeah, I think there's some anomalies like you just described there. It's tough to explain away.
Dude, it is crazy. And there's this whole movement to demonize Jesus right now. And we all know they don't want us looking at the truth. They keep changing the names of entities. I'm telling you, man. And then you talk about like when you possession, demons and all that stuff, you shout Jesus' name, they run away in fear.
Same with aliens. Same with aliens. It happens. Like when you during abductions, people will use a Lord's name and it disappears. Mothman experiences is documented that's happened. Yeah, Christ is powerful.
The power of Christ compels.
Set yet. Epstein's Island. Get to cover up every inch of where it all went down with the people who call this place paradise.
Wow, Jesus. Was that like a Epstein Lego playset?
This is what
Lego's reading the room, dude. What are people talking about? Bang, Epstein. What if Lego's just like AI? Just read Twitter, read everything.
Give it to them.
Whatever they're talking about, create a Lego set for it. And AI's like, are you ready for the first one? I present to you Epstein's Island.
I bet it would work. I bet it would. That would go crazy. And that would sell out. You know it would.
You know they'd buy it, hold it, and in like 5 years, it's worth $1 billion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen to AI telling us.
It's calculating right now that what's going to spin out next. It's going to be a Diddy Party Lego set. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's going to be Kanye West and his cousin.
Hold on. Stay there. Got a question. Force lava. Need some help. Huge favor. Please don't judge. Gotta ask. Do you have any cocaine?
No, I don't.
Dude, I mean, we're getting the best videos this time. The best videos.
And we're winding things down.
Nephilim Death Squad.
We got like 10 minutes left, and we're pumping through this right now.
We have about, it's 11, guys. That means good luck. And we got about 50 minutes left. And then if a couple videos didn't get shown, we got some bangers for you.
Get ready, so get set, so hang on, so buckle up, so sit tight, so strap yourself in, so brace yourself, so fasten your seatbelt, so hold on tight, so hang on, so get ready to get ready, and get ready to get real. So keep your eyes open, so fasten your seatbelt, so stick around, so hang on, so get ready. You just have to be ready. Brace yourself. What you're about to see will open your eyes. The surprises never stop. So you better hang on. So get ready.
That should be the opening of every show.
Yeah, it will be.
We should just tell everybody, get ready.
Next show.
Get ready.
I will have all those drops. Every single one.
Get ready.
Here we come.
It's about to happen.
Buckle in.
up.
The United States is officially cooked. You are not going to believe how much money has been wagered on ping pong in the state of Colorado, because it's actually getting ridiculous. Take a guess real quick. Put it in the comments. Do you think it was 5 million? 10 million? 2? Because that would be a ton of money gambled on ping pong. Well, if that was your guess, you would be totally and utterly wrong. Because 31.7 million was bet on table tennis in Colorado in just January, which is the second straight month that this has happened. Ping pong is now being referred to as the crack cocaine of sports betting, because it's the one thing that's on in the middle of the night that absolutely no one has any idea what's going to happen, but they're still fielding bets on it. I get that a lot of people say that there's strategy in sports betting, but if you can honestly with a straight face tell me that you're a ping pong gambling expert, I would literally be baffled. Sports betting has taken over America, and I'm here to talk about the truth, and the truth is that you can very easily get addicted to it. Hit that follow button if you've ever felt bad after you gambled, or if you've ever gambled on this godforsaken sport.
Dude, ping pong is the #1 sport in China, which means more people play ping pong than anything else. Probably outside of soccer.
Crazy to think about.
Asians love ping pong. I love ping pong. It's so fast. Bang, bang, pow. Get in it to win it.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but I would never even imagine throwing down money on it. But I'm not a big gambler. What do I know?
You really have to study it. I mean, dude, the only way the WNBA is going to get interesting is if they get people into gambling on it.
Yeah. And then, buying off the refs, point shaving, all that stuff. You got to get the mob involved, and then it'll take off.
Half of the people named in it are named ping pong.
That is true.
Half the people who play it are named it.
Yeah. So, okay.
Points.
The only thing I know
Points.
about ping pong, Forrest Gump. That's all I know about ping pong.
And he was great at that.
It's fantastic. And he remember he went to China, and I think he competed.
Oh, you remember have you ever seen that video of Bruce Lee using nunchucks to play ping pong? I'm sure it's AI, but it makes me believe.
I would believe it. Bruce Lee, badass
man.
Out, this is a secret Japanese city built at the base of Mount Fuji. But it's not just any city, because this city is a real-world test lab for cutting-edge technology. All the latest tech in one giant town populated by real people. It's called the Woven City, and it was built by Toyota. Now, the coolest part of the Woven City is the road system, because instead of one main type of transportation, the architects split the city into 3 different road types. One for higher-speed autonomous vehicles, one for personal mobility with e-bikes and scooters, and a third with linear parks and human-only walkways. These 3 road types are then interweaved into 3x3 grids throughout the city, woven together like fabric to create the most efficient and natural flow. But this is only part of what makes the transportation system so great, because there's a whole AI logistics network built underneath the ground. Goods and supplies will move around the city automatically through underground tunnels with self-driving robots, delivered directly into each house through pressurized tubes. Now, all of the roads, tunnels, houses, and vehicles will be interconnected and fully tech-enabled. Think of it like having one giant living prototype. Eventually, the city's gonna house over 2,000 people. And this will allow Toyota and other companies to test new technology at scale in a real-world environment. I think this is a peek into the future of smart cities.
What do you think?
Somehow when the Japanese do it, it doesn't seem like totalitarian
You
dictatorial
are
control.
so right. You're like, oh, the Asians are so advanced.
Yes, it seems like it's benign. It seems friendly. They got, all the friendly anime characters. And it seems like the Japanese are, this can be fine.
Yeah, there's Pokemons everywhere, Pikachus, Dragon Ball Zs, everywhere. The cops are all Dragon Ball Z. You kick!
See, that's
Dude,
fun. That's fun.
Let me ask you something. Would you rather live in futuristic city or on your farm right now?
Oh boy. Yeah, definitely on my farm. I can go out there, make a fire, be at peace, with the trees. I've lived in cities, and regardless if it's like super futuristic and everything's super convenient, I'm gonna be tired of the people. I'm still gonna be bumping into things, and I've lived in cities, and I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Yeah.
All right.
Back to nature. Back to nature.
Seems crazy to me. Let's see.
I know.
In the wheel.
Let me just make sure I'm hearing you correctly on this, because what you just said is that these people who are being implanted are in the middle of this necromancy ritual unwillingly.
I think that, yes. So the idea of merging metal with memory is supposed to be modern technology. It's not. Ancient technology that the phenomenon gave early practitioners. Whatever this is, whatever species we're dealing with, it replicates by implantation and impregnation. Just in this specific case study, the primordial man is stoking the embers of a dying fire. He has no knowledge, number one, that this species exists. And yet something tells him there is a metallic object out in the ground out there, outside near your house, right? What do you mean? Small piece of metal. Who gave it to him? And so he goes out there, carves the name of an unclean spirit into it. And then, oh, by the way, there happens to be a deceased person here. Take that, implant it underneath their tongue, and let the phenomenon do the rest. My friend, right now, what I'm suggesting here to kind of summarize is that the same species that was grooming the consciousness of our ancestors is doing the very same thing right now. The only difference is it's ufology. That's it.
Tony Merkel in the confessionals. Whew. That's a powerful clip right there. In a weird way, it's somewhat connected to what Greg Carlwood said. In some weird kind of something is almost like an ancient AI is, and now we got metal and memory coming together. Very weird. very weird.
Yeah, it's insane to think of. I'm going to have to dig up that episode from Tony and listen to exactly what that guy has to say. But sounds dangerous, sounds powerful, and troubling.
Sounds scary.
What do you say? You want to do one more spin and then some follow-up clips that you have?
Yeah,
your choice cuts. Here we go.
Choice cuts.
The Florida Man Games is the most American competition I've ever seen. They fully embrace the Florida Man meme and are giving people a chance to prove themselves with things like the Hurricane Party Prep Grocery Aisle Brawl. Here, Floridians battle it out against each other to get the last of the hurricane prep supplies left on the shelf. They also have the Evading Arrest Challenge, where contestants are chased through an obstacle course by real police officers after stealing copper pipes and catalytic converters. Here, any news headlines you see where a Florida man was doing something crazy has the chance of becoming a real competition.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I love that Florida just embraces it.
Yeah.
They're like, and there is something to the notion of this kind of movement to demonize Florida, because when you go to Florida, it's wonderful. It's pretty badass. And then you start seeing everyone mocking Florida people and all that stuff. And you go to Florida, you're like, I could live here. Yeah, the mosquitoes are big and there's alligators everywhere, but there's fat ass Latinas too. So you gotta go pick your poison.
Yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad.
You gotta take the good with the bad. One more wheel, and then we'll go into picking.
Okay, one more.
My choice cuts as I decide what has been picked and what has not been picked.
All right, this is the last spin, people. Here we go.
This is how cold it is in Canada.
No, it's not. You live in Toronto, and this is what the weather looked like when you recorded this video. I'll be kind and take the lowest temperature, which is 21 Fahrenheit or negative 6 degrees Celsius. I found the same kettle that has a triangular 100 to 0 Celsius and another for changing the phase of the liquid from water to ice. The amount of heat we need to remove to get from 100 to 0 can be calculated by multiplying the specific heat of water by the difference in temperature, which will be 420 joules per gram. For phase changing, we need the latent heat of fusion, which is 334 joules per gram, which means in total we need 754. Multiply this by the mass flow rate we calculated, and this means we need a continuous 113 kilowatts to freeze that small stream of water. Now, this is the formula I'm using to see how much cooling the air of the rooftop of your apartment was providing. H is the heat transfer coefficient, and I'll be kind and assume it's 100 watts per meter squared Kelvin. A is the surface area of the water room, which is 314 centimeters squared, and delta T is the temperature difference, which is 106 Celsius. The simple math here shows that convection can only remove 0.3 kilowatts every second, but you need 113 kilowatts for the water to turn into ice, which is 340 times bigger, which means your video is not real. That was a fun way of doing it, but if you look at this stream, I don't understand why some of the water decided to freeze and some of it is just falling to the ground.
Sounds logical, doesn't it?
Oof. You got served. Damn.
That
guy just curb stomped you. All right, here we go. Here's some videos that I felt I wanted to make sure the people who love the wheel can see. Here we go.
Octopuses actually have 3 hearts. 2 of them pump blood to the gills, while the third one actually pumps the blood to the body. However, when they swim, the heart that pumps the blood to the body actually stops. Man, wow, that's big old biddies. Those are some big old biddies.
Wow, I don't know what she was talking about really, but
I don't either. But it's this new thing that they do where they just all they do is shake their chi-chis, and then they just go for it. Here we go. Here's another one. Let's see. We use that one. Oh, I love this one. You're gonna love this one. Here we go.
Boom! Out of nowhere, I get sleep paralysis. Fucking ghost comes in. It's a female with a fat ass, and she comes in and fucking gets on my bed, and she's standing up, and I'm looking up at her. This bitch starts clapping her cheeks. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, bitch, once I break off this sleep paralysis, I'm gonna clap your fucking cheeks. And the bitch kept doing it. She kept like teasing and shit. Boom, boom, just clapping her fucking cheeks. And it smells like ass too. Now, what she didn't know is that I'm actually pretty good at breaking off from that shit. Boom, I break off. This bitch starts running, bro. And I could hear her running because her cheeks are clapping while she's running. Bah, 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 bah. Now, I'm in boxers, so I start chasing after this bitch. This bitch hitting corners and shit. Boom, 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 boom. Basically just going in circles chasing this hoe. So I fucking catch up to her, and I put my foot in front of her, and I trip her. Now, she started like tumbling and shit, like falling down. As she's falling down, she goes like this, and she fucking pulls me down with her. So now I'm tumbling down as well. Out of nowhere, bro, like, I don't know how it happened, but my shit went in. And when my shit went in, her cheeks clapped up on my shit and locked. Bah! I said, oh, fuck. I said, what the fuck, bro? And I just started going ham on that shit, you know what I'm saying? Some demon push crazy, man. That's a crazy night. That shit happened last week, by the way.
Hey, man, that's how we fight back. That's how we fight back.
Incredible.
That's how we fight back. That's how you fight back, dog. Here we go. This is very important. This is very important. Here we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go.
6 afraid of 7.
Thank you, Jacket Wreck. That Jack Wreck Kick? Something like that. Thank you, sir. That was a powerful message. Powerful message. Any thoughts?
My God. Tear to my eye.
I hate to get really deep right there. I hate to get so deep. Put that ass to sleep. Here we go.
Everyone remembers where they were on 9/11. And I remember where I was when I saw 2 Girls, 1 Cup. It was my 9/11. It's a poor man's 9/11.
Rudy, you were such a fun guy. Like, where did it all go wrong? And I tell him, 2G1C, video involving 2 girls and a cup.
I watched 2G1C, and then I broke up with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, do girls eat? I was a kid, I didn't know. I thought maybe my girlfriend, every time she was like, I'm busy, I can't come out tonight, I'm like, she's eating. And that just put me.
My relationships suffered, stopped leaving the house, lost my scholarship at Yale.
My doctor says I have autism now, or whatever that means.
What were they doing that in there?
I wanted to help people, and now I'm a exotic dancer in Cocoa Beach.
We've all been affected, dude. We've all been affected.
I'm sure it's affected young people who saw it much younger than when they should have. It scarred
We've all
them
been
for life.
affected, dude. We've all been affected. Everything is constantly affecting us.
Jesus Christ.
Shoot your shot, young man. Shoot your shot.
You get one chance.
All right. The final. Well, I'm gonna ask Midnight Mike after we play this next one. How deep does he want to go? Is he willing to dance the forbidden dance? Here we go. This one's for sure. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. Here we go.
Day, which I thought was the next day, she told me, you better get up, you got to go pitch. I said, pitch? I pitch tomorrow. Hell, what are you talking about? Because I had got up in the middle of the morning and took some more acid. She grabbed the paper, brought me the sports page and showed me, boom. I said, oh, wow. What happened to yesterday? You know, if Doc's pitching, you know, it's high is it? I pitched every game in the major leagues under the influence of drugs.
Oculus has put 9 men on the bases, 8 walks and 1 hit batter, but 3 outs separate him and a no-hitter. On the cloud side, in the night. Down to first base, Oliver, brilliant play, underhand Allen, 2 down.
I didn't see the hitters. All I could tell was if they was on the right side or the left side.
0-0-0, we're at 6 to go. Out of pitch.
Yeah, it's an incredible story.
Pitched a perfect game. A perfect game on
LSD. Yeah, incredible story. It is. I mean, I love that piece of sports history. It's so, I don't know. It just at the time, it just like, sports is huge. LSD, hippie culture, and he just focused. He allowed himself to focus and get the job done.
All right, so this is the last one. It's a pretty dirty one. Do you want to dance or do you want to call it? We're at an hour and a half. If you called, I'm fine with it.
Let's call it. Save that one for next week.
All right.
Save it for next week. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just put it into the my Twitter feed and go, this is the one that was too hot for YouTube. Or dude, we just take off YouTube and run it.
We could do that.
All right, guys. If you're on YouTube, you can't see this video. Sorry, guys. It's the tech gods.
How do
We're
we
gonna
take
it
off
right
YouTube?
now.
Just hit that
Watch
check
here.
mark.
I hit remove.